It's better to own a percent of a watermelon than to own an entire grape. That is the topic for today on Entrepreneur Report ER100. We're going to be talking about the humbleness of growing your company, basically the watermelon, owning a percent of watermelon, compared to you being greedy and only wanting to own 100% of your little tiny grape compared to a watermelon, right? That's the whole analogy here. And before I even go further, I think there's an African proverb that says something like, if you want to travel fast, then you can go alone. If you want to travel far, right, you have to go as a team. You have to move with other people. So the whole representation of watermelon and a grape is this. So a lot of people, or at least based on my experience, or based a part of me, a part of a certain time in entrepreneurship, it felt like, it might be better if I just worked alone on this, because I'll own a larger percent of the stake, because I'll be able to move fast. I'll be able to, you know what I mean? Different thoughts like those go through your head. Or maybe you might own 100% of a company right now, you're generating good profits, and someone else wants to get involved, or you want to expand the company and you have to give up some percent of the shares of the company, but you're feeling like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. So you kind of get a little bit greedy and you decide that you'd rather hold on to your little grape. Now, on the other side of the watermelon, right, if you see a lot of companies when they scale, right, the owner's shares decrease. The initial investments percentage you own of the company actually decreases over time, but the actual equity in the company, the actual value of that company increases. So I'll give you an example, right? If you own 100% of a grape, and that's worth about $100,000, right? Compared to you owning 10% of a watermelon that's worth $10 million. That's $1 million, right? So the watermelon, to the end of the day, you might have less equity, but it's larger and it's actually bigger at the end of the day. So that's the whole analogy here. And the way this adds into the whole business arena is this. It's usually when you're scaling a company. It's usually when you're starting to realize, wait a minute, this thing can be much bigger than it is right now, or it's usually when you're raising money. So at the end of the day, it's usually when you're making a pivotal choice in your company, when you're seeing that company can become bigger. And the reason why it's good to give up equity in your company is because you want people to be involved with a stake, okay? I always tell people your employees are not going to work as hard as you. So it's the same way if a person actually has equity stake in your business, they're actually going to put in work and they're actually going to execute. So that's why companies usually give up stake. The same way if you raise money from an investor, they're putting in their stake in the business. They're getting ventured into it. So you give them a percent back for that risk they're taking with you. So this video is very, very short because I'm just trying to make a very, very simple point. It is better for you to own a percent of a watermelon, right? Very humble, compared to being very kind of greedy and only wanting to hold on to your grape, because that grape can just get squished in the market by the watermelon. So thanks for watching the video. Hope to see you in another episode of Entrepreneur Report ER100. For now, peace out.